please welcome up on stage
Screenwriter Paul Laverty.
A bit more fragile, so he was very, very sorry not to be here and sent his very best. And he told me about this beautiful theatre, so it's a real privilege to actually see it with my own eyes. And also, can I just say as well, just what a pleasure it is to see a full cinema. 500. 523 seats, I'm told. And isn't it just remarkable? I think in these barbaric times, when there's so much cruelty, so much fake news, so much lies, so much violence, that people come together and with a predisposition to sit down and put yourself in someone else's shoes. And in these days, I find that profoundly touching, and it's a precious thing to do, to listen to each other, to disagree, to argue, to try and untangle complexities. So that's the beauty of cinema. And I really hope and it's totally heartbreaking for me to hear that this beautiful space, might close. We lost our independent cinema in Edinburgh. I'm from Glasgow, and I live in Edinburgh now, and we lost our film house. And with that, we lost the Italian festival, the French festival, European cinema, political cinema, all these debates with a city of, with 4 universities. And you don't realise what you lose till it's gone. So there must be a creative and imaginative way to save this cinema. So good luck. I can never answer questions, sorry. Well, in answer to this, it's a bit surreal because I never planned to be a scriptwriter at all. And it's really a total accident that I'm here. I used to, what happened, to cut a very long story short, I was in my 20s, and I suppose like many people that age, you want to learn another language and you want to see the other side of the world. And also I was interested in politics, and I was, like many of my generation, were fascinated by the Sandinista revolution, in 1979. So I went to work there as a volunteer, and I worked for a human rights organisation. I was there for 2.5 years. So what I saw was a time of great barbarity in the United States, financed the Contra, and they tore this little country, going 3 million people apart. And because I was an eyewitness to it, I understood it, and I was fascinated by the systematic violence and the creativity of that massive violence. And there's shadows of that today, isn't there? And that collusion and a false narrative. And they were determined to crush the Sandinista revolution. And over a period of 10 years they did. And the ultimate aberration is Daniel Ortega, who is now there. He was betrayed, the principles of that revolution. But it was to untangle that again. How did that happen? So to cut a very long story short, after my 2.5 years there, I was sick of writing human rights reports. And in my innocence I thought, I'm going to write a film about this. And with great naivety, but with a lot of determination, I wrote to many people. And I prepared a treatment and I sent it to Ken. And what was wonderful about it at the very beginning, he was curious. He said, it's a long shot, I don't speak Spanish, there's a war going on there, there's no film industry, it's a long shot, but why did you try and write a few scenes? And the difference between writing a treatment and just writing a scene where you give people, you have to choose their class, you have to choose how we speak. And that was like a drug. And I wrote up the first half of Carol's song. And after that he said, well, let's have a bash. But it was 5 years between then and getting the film made. And so I was very, very lucky to cross paths with Ken. Perfect.